On this week's Celts in the Caribbean, we're going to be talking about
Irish printer debacle,
virtual reality for cows,
Dutch supermarkets, and a uniform gaff,
the real life Breaking Bad,
and a realistic frog dissection replica.
and what is butt sunning?
Okay, what is it?
All to come and more on Celts in the Caribbean. Hello and welcome to Celts in the Caribbean. We are coming to you from sunny Bonaire. My name's Alan from Scotland.
And I am Ewan from Ireland. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. We are the #1 podcast on Bonaire, so feel privileged to be listening to us
We
right
do.
now.
We've done very little research to receive that, but I'm pretty sure no one else is taking the time to do this shit. So
I would say that's where it is an unofficial accolade that I have bestowed on our
no man.
ourselves.
I will take all accolades. So yes.
Yeah, if you ever want to get in touch with us, head over to our Facebook page. You can send us some stories that we can talk about. So what we want to do is just talk about the mostly feel-good stories of the week. Talk about the headlines and just
Have the banter with it.
Have a little bit of banter, have a couple of beers, sit down, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
We've switched the format to every 2 weeks. So we've got like just all killers, no fillers. I've got so many amazing headlines this week.
Exactly. We plan to knock this one out of the park.
To the brim.
Yes.
And I even read some of them, like just 5 minutes ago before we started.
Yeah, but hey, look, that's definitely a step in the right direction, I think.
I'm gonna start with something pretty well. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody from yesterday. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
Well, from the Celts, it's whatever it was. But
Since we don't celebrate it, it was.
Yeah. We had a lot of turkey, a lot of food.
Yeah.
It is the 30th of November when you're listening to this, so all the news headlines are true, or to the best of our knowledge, and come from the last couple of weeks. But yeah, the one I did want to talk about a little bit and try and pull some positivity from, because it's definitely a negative headline. But yesterday there was another terrorist attack in London where a couple of people unfortunately lost their lives, and there was actually one in The Hague yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Where I don't think anybody lost their lives, but again, it was
Whether or not they were linked, or did it say anything about that?
I don't think there was. It
No?
seemed like everybody was acting individually. Yeah. But yeah, so obviously from Celts in the Caribbean, a horrible incident, but it did bring up one amazing story came out of this, and it was I don't know. Did you see the video at all?
I seen a couple of videos. You mean like the one where he was
He was
eventually?
no, the one where he was getting tackled to the ground.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, so there's a lot going on, and so if there's 3 or 4 people around him, there's fire extinguishers going off, and they're trying to wrestle him to the ground. But there's one individual in there, Lucas. He is a Polish chef, and he is stabbing and taking the guy down with a large 5-foot staff. Have you heard about this story yet?
I did, yeah.
Did you see what the staff was?
I didn't. I know what it is, but
Yeah. It was a narwhal, a narwhal's.
Yeah, a narwhal tusk.
A narwhal tusk that, which was just unbelievable.
I didn't realize he was in the medley of it. I thought it was just like a buy thing, like that. And this other man got a narwhal tusk from the museum and ran out, but I didn't realize he was in the midst of it.
Oh yeah, it was from. Yeah, he didn't just take an opportunity to nick a narwhal tusk in the middle of things. It was like where everything started originated. They were doing it was a conference on how to rehabilitate inmates. And when it all kicked off, one of the gentlemen, I think it was at a fisherman's wharf or something, and on the wall was a 5-foot long narwhal tusk, and I reckon he might have been like me, he's probably sitting there a little bit bored, a little bit distracted, and thinking, if anything kicks off, straight away, I'm going for that narwhal.
I'm turning Bam Bam from Flintstones.
Yeah,
This
so
is mine.
He grabbed that and chased him down the
Street.
Chased him down the
And in
street,
this
so-
inmate conference, were there any inmates? Because that would have been like a really
Yes.
rags to riches story, because they would be like, yeah, finally it's my time to shine.
It was a mix of students, inmates, and those that have been rehabilitated. And actually, one of the gentlemen that did tackle him and like pin him down, I assume was at the conference, or it might have been a complete coincidence, was a murderer on day release. That
Fuck off.
took him down. No, yeah. So it was just quite a story. Like somebody getting you don't write that stuff. Somebody's getting attacked with a narwhal husk while a murderer on day release is pinning you to the ground, and other people are running around with like not flamethrowers though, fire extinguishers. So it was.
It would have been much better to do it on the Chelsea Garden Show day.
Yeah, so
a bunch of botanists. I don't know what they would do.
A horrible story, and unfortunately, these things are just becoming more and more common. I think we're getting like a little diluted to them a little bit, but
yeah, you could become numb to it. You're like, oh, another one. Where was it this time?
And I definitely don't want you to think we're making light of the story. It was just, I thought it was a beautiful story. Well, beautiful is probably the wrong word. Like,
no, it's
running around.
No, I get what you're trying to say. Like,
we're just trying to put a positive spin on a very negative thing, I guess.
Yeah. And the guy is no more. What did you make of that? Like, because he was on the ground. I've seen a lot of people reacting to, he was already contained, and then they shot him.
Well, he was wearing. He wasn't really contained because he was wearing a fake explosive vest.
Yeah.
So the police officer didn't know that. And they have with terrorism, they have a shoot to kill policy. Like it's I don't know if they're allowed to do it, but it's down to every specific incident. And I think the police officer, if he's seeing civilians holding down somebody that is wearing what he has to expect is an explosive vest, he's well within his right to end that situation in the best way that he's been trained. So I don't think I think that's a clear case of.
No matter how you cut it, it was a pretty depressing bit of news yesterday. But I'm pretty happy that the narwhal tusk actually was used. I just read it and I thought, oh wow, this guy just nicked it off the wall. And
I was really juggling whether to talk about it tonight, but it was just such a bizarre / I've just never heard a headline like it where somebody's been attacked by a narwhal tusk. If you have been attacked by a narwhal tusk, do get in touch.
Either in the wild or at a fisherman's pub or something. Please let us know.
Yeah, get in touch.
Did you hear the story about the Irish printer scandal?
I did, actually.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we're so in sync.
We are in sync. How ridiculous was this? 800,000 on 800,000 euro on a printer because they were spending 150,000 a year on repairs on the previous printer. So they said, you know what, fuck it, we're going to get top of the line. And I don't know who they talked to. Was it like the Daily Mirror or the Irish Times or something, and said, hey, what do you use to print shit with? And they're like, oh, we use this because this thing prints like, well, something like 60,000 pages every hour.
If I'm spending $800,000 on a printer, I want it to print anything and everything.
Oh my god! I don't know. Is it like bought for future manifestos or something? But it's absolutely ridiculous.
But this was the Irish government that bought.
The Irish government, yeah.
Why aren't they outsourcing that? Like, what are they printing that they need something of that bit, like an $800,000 printer?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, why would you need 60,000 pages an hour or whatever, or whatever it was? It was an abnormal amount of pages per hour. It's just not right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who sold them this shit, but they clearly got more than they bargained for. And the people,
but that's not where the problem finished.
No.
Dun dun dun.
The problem finished with they didn't spec it correctly, which so they didn't know the total sizes, or they miscalculated. And by the time that that the printer arrived, they couldn't get it into onto the floor or the area where it was supposed to be used. So it had to go into storage for over a year, costing, I think it was €2,000 per month in storage fees. And after that, they had to do, or during this time, they had to do a €200,000 renovation on the property to get the bloody printer to the area where it was supposed to be used.
Yeah, I don't know which tradies they're using, but they definitely know that they're working with the government. They're like, we need to expand this doorway a little bit. It's going to be 200,000.
Black hole for money. Yeah. Oh my god. They could have just built a fucking garden shed at the back and put it into it or something. But yeah, it's absolutely horrendous. And yeah, I hope there's going to be an inquiry into it. I think there is an inquiry into it. So yeah, that's where the taxpayers' money was going.
They'll be very upset, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
that could have been spent on potatoes.
But also, it seemed like that the staff then were also hesitant to use the printer once installed because they didn't like have qualifications to use this. So like, why again? Go back to the first point. Why get something that is so industrial that no one knows how to use? You can't fit it in there. Like, what's wrong with like a HP printer?
We shall email the Irish government and get back to you in a couple of weeks.
No, it's the Irish government. It's more like a couple of years. We'll find out.
They'll send us a letter on beautifully printed paper, I'm sure.
What else are we talking about, mate?
Talking about, well, let's switch to the Canadian government for a second. I've expanded my network of news again. This one comes from...
yeah, now you got 3 outlets, is it?
I know, it's crazy. This one's from dangerousminds.com, which doesn't sound like a legit... Like, I usually do BBC. I've got a story from the New York Times this week. Yeah.
Look at you. Are you paying for the subscription, or are you getting one of the 5 free stories a month?
Obviously 5 free stories a month. So the top you'll get is a couple of New York Times, and it's about cognac, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So Dangerous Minds. I've not fact checked this, but it's so unimportant whether it's real or not. It doesn't matter. But the Canadian government have had to release a statement urging Star Trek fans to please stop spocking the fivers. So there's a £5 note in Canada, or $5 note, that has their 7th Prime Minister, Sir Wilfrid Laurier, on it. And he kind of looks a little bit like Leonard Nimoy. So people are like adding the pointy sideburns and putting a little Star Trek insignia on him. And it's getting quite common.
And they're using the same notes in stores, and then it's being circulated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But the government have made a mistake by saying it's not illegal, but. So surely that's just going to encourage everybody to do it more. And it's like, you're just highlighting the fact this can be done. I feel like it's one of those.
How's it not illegal? I thought you weren't allowed to tamper with currency.
Apparently in Canada it's fine, but they have said it's not illegal, but it might like make testing if it's counterfeit a little bit more difficult.
We would like it, please, if you would.
Please don't.
Just please.
But I feel like releasing that statement is just one of those things that you're just going to make it worse. You're just highlighting the fact that it can actually be done, and everybody's like, "Oh yes, I am going to Spock my fiver." So if we've got any Canadian listeners, send us a little photo of you Spocking your fiver. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous. Did you see the Albert Heijn story this week?
Sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so Albert Heijn is a grocery store in the Netherlands.
Oh no.
It's not really like a Tesco's. It's, I don't know what's in between. Is it like in Ireland, like a Dunnes Stores, or
in between of what?
Like a
Tesco's and Lidl, or Tesco's
a Waitrose, or like a Marks and Spencer's. It's not that high end, but it's a nice grocery store in the Netherlands. Like it's it's got good produce and so on. But
sounds like a Tesco. Have good project. Hey, I've got shares in Tesco.
Do you? Was it like an 18th birthday present or something?
No.
No, okay.
Just as, but go to shop at Tesco.
It's your venture capital side. So anyway, this Albert Heijn story is, it's ridiculous. The boardroom decided that for the new uniforms that the staff would receive, they were going to use this digital app. So they were going to use this phone app that took people's measurements and then gave them perfectly sized uniforms.
Okay.
Now, for the app to work, the staff needed to be semi-naked.
Sounds suspicious.
They needed to take selfies in their underwear and send them to the address for the corporate office in that area. And from there, they would get like the uniform spec'd for the staff. But within like a day of being told to the staff, it was like, we are immediately recalling this idea. Do not do this, because there was such a backlash. And of course, there's a fucking backlash. Who wants to take like a semi-naked photo of yourself unless you're on Tinder? And so they had to stop it. But
if I had to count the number of jobs I've lost for trying to size employees by asking them to take naked photos,
I don't. For seeing as you can't see what Alan is doing right now, he is literally touching. So was it more of a tactile thing? Yeah.
No. It was.
You are definitely an 8.
Yeah.
Lovely work. But I just wonder, like, what happened in the boardroom that day when it happened? You know, like, were they all just sitting around there like, you know what? We need like a better way to size these work shirts. And someone's like, you know, there's this new app where people are like pretty much naked and they send in photos. Then they're like, yes, let's do it.
It sounds like a Dilbert cartoon where the manager has like, I want better fitting costumes. I want to I want to reduce the cost that we're spending on missized uniforms or whatever. Send it over to the engineers, and then doesn't care at all how it's actually goes ahead and produced. But it seems like it just needs a couple of people to have run that idea past to go. Surely one person would go, no, this is not a good idea.
Yeah, what a ridiculous idea. But anyway, it was scrapped, thankfully. But
I worked in Mexico for a little bit, and for 4 years. And I had this amazing girl that worked behind the desk, and she would take the orders for our uniforms. And my Spanish, even after a few years, painful to admit, was horrible. I was mainly there's no excuses.
Don't make an excuse.
Just working hard. I was like, I couldn't get a grasp of the language. But one of my favorite memories of her is that she was ordering my new uniform, and it was like, okay, like kind of. What size of shorts or ropas? And I'm like, I kind of go, oh yeah, I'm a 32, and she just looks up and down and goes, no.
You're not.
No,
don't lie to me.
I put 36.
She did not,
and she was right.
Oh fuck's sake, that's horrible. I'm sorry for you in that. What else are we talking about?
So. We're talking a little bit about technology. So I've got our Russian story of the week.
Okay.
It's just a quickie. But Russia is testing VR headsets on cows. And surprise.
I saw this.
Oh, this one's yours?
No. It's all, yeah.
So me and Ewan, like one of our things before the podcast, we don't discuss what we're going to be talking about so that I can be a little bit surprised. And I'd imagine you, dear listeners, are surprised that this is not all scripted and that we sit down and
go over this for hours,
just putting together our linguistic words.
Our linguistic, clearly we don't fucking do that.
We wrote that in.
So what happened with the Russian cows, Alan?
So this is actually...
Were they indoctrinated into the Putin regime, or...
Well, that would be your immediate thought. But this is actually a feel-good story. It probably sounds like the cows are probably currently under horrendous conditions. But they're actually trying to increase the welfare of the cows by putting these VR headsets on them. And I'm assuming they're maybe showing them cow porn or like maybe green pastures or like Avatar or Die Hard. Probably Die Hard.
They're showing them pleasant summer fields.
Oh, So
Pleasant summer
some of my
fields.
guesses were close. I said,
Yeah, I think the cow porn is like specifically for the bowls.
there you go. So, has there been any feedback on that? Have we seen reduced reduced anxiety?
I don't know about the reduced anxiety, but they done it for, of course, there's a reason, but it was an increased milk yield because they had looked at other countries where cows didn't maybe experience as much like terrible weather during the winter months, and the cows were producing quite a lot of milk year round, whereas the Russian cows were going through like barren periods or not enough milk yield for the farmer. So they're saying that there was like a bunch of different studies supposedly done for color spectrum for cows, and cows themselves could associate. They had like a more positive response to red colors than to blues and greens. So like softer, more dull colors. Green is not dull,
So if
but
they
like
make a VR environment with red grass, those guys are just gonna be
yeah,
like,
they're just gonna be
yes.
producing gallons.
Just
That was
milk everywhere.
So that's what I didn't understand over it, because it was like the blues and greens is what they were trying to avoid. But like a summer pasture is green grass and blue skies. So I don't understand how the fuck that actually.
Maybe cows are in a constant state of fucking nightmarish hell because they're in green pastures. You don't know.
Maybe.
Have you ever sat down and had a conversation with one that's in like a big green field? Like, are you having a good day? It might just be depressed as hell.
I remember my time in the city. I had so much fun. No.
My little red brick house. I was super happy.
Do you think after the Apple incident this week, where Apple got into like politics a little bit? Did you see this with Apple kind of rezoned Crimea as part of Russia?
Okay. Good. I thought it was Google Maps.
It was Apple.
It was Apple. Okay.
Apple. So they rezoned it as part of Russia. Do you think that the Crimean cows in their VR are getting like, you're a Russian cow now?
I think they're going to have a huge crisis of confidence of where they're at. They're already struggling. They're already not producing enough milk that they're putting VR headsets on them. Why don't they just give them a little bit extra space and maybe turn the heater on?
Yeah.
Why? I assume they're testing. It does just say they're testing the VR headsets.
Yeah, I would
so they're
say
not
so.
Rolling them out.
I can't imagine they're spending billions on this already.
Yeah.
That'll be an exciting one to hear back from, or never. It'll be like one of those stories that come past and then
I'm ready to end this story, but I didn't manage a cow pun, which I'm really upset about.
Pat yourself on the back for it.
Okay. Let's move on.
Oh, there was two. Brilliant. Now let's move on.
Okay. Talking about sunny pastures.
Okay.
Have you heard? This one's from Aussie Man. I've got a few stories from him this week. Have you heard of butt sunning?
No.
Good. We can still be friends. So it's come out from a yogi type, and I'm serious, like some kind of influencer that is just trying to get some clicks, and it's worked for them.
Yeah.
She is saying that this it's a way to increase energy. It's a way to improve your sleeping, increase creativity.
Tan your ass.
Like, literally spread your cheeks, put the little winkle up to the sunlight, and it says only 30. She claims only 30 seconds of butt light is the equivalent of a full day of sun wearing clothes. So I can show you a photo of her.
Fantastic. Show me the butt. Show me the butt sunning.
Yeah, I tried to do this in order because I've got a few things to nip over. Here she is.
Are you sure you didn't get from Pornhub?
Nope, this is for her. This is well, Aussie Mind might have got it from Pornhub, secondhand information from me. So this is her. Looks like out in maybe Arizona or.
So why does she have her tits out as well?
Well, I think she's just absorbing all the vitamin D, but the important part seems to be your butthole.
Right.
Yes.
And is there any scientific backing to this?
Oh,
Or?
absolutely not. I wouldn't have
No.
thought. I wouldn't have thought there was any scientific.
No, it's coming
backing
from
to this.
it's coming from a yogi. Oh, I'm sorry. That's controversial. I didn't mean that.
No.
Oh, that is a terrible
But the thing
story.
is, if she made it like, I think she's been very clever here. Because if she made it like 10 minutes or half an hour a day, she's made it 30 seconds. Which makes me want to try it a little bit. Like, I'm not going to go out and sit on my roof and, like, you know, point my arse to the sky for half an hour. But for 30 seconds, just to see if there's any, like, I get a sudden surge of creativity. Maybe we should do it before, like, we've got 2 weeks before next week's Celts in the Caribbean.
Okay. 30 seconds a day?
30 seconds. Well, no, just on the day. Well, we can do 30 seconds a day. Just on the day before we come in. Boom, 30 seconds of direct sunlight.
And we'll be like, what, the first two fucking Celts who get melanoma on their butthole.
30 seconds is probably enough to do it. I don't think my butthole has ever.
I'm pretty sure I'd rather read out these ridiculous stories than become a part of one of them. But yeah.
Well, we can let our listeners decide and be like, actually, guys, you were so creative this week.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
Melanoma's not your friend, man. Oh god. Did you see? Oh god. Did you see this lady who was stabbed 3 times in the U.S. because she was wearing fur boots?
No.
They
By
were-
a vegan?
No, do you know, it doesn't say that the person was a vegan, but yeah, I'm sure the case is still out there on that one. But
Was it because of her fur boots? Or was
yeah,
that
it
just
was,
that?
and they were faux fur boots. It wasn't even real fur boots. She was like a volunteer at a local church, and she was in the church to pick up her kids, and this person burst in and stabbed her 3 times because she was wearing what looked like fur boots. And the ridiculous part of it was, in 2012, the same person who done the stabbing was involved in a conspiracy to murder another person wearing fur. But this time, she didn't take it into her own hands. She hired a hitman.
Oh, through the dark web?
Yeah, through Tor. Oh my god. What is up with people? Why did you do that?
But I understand why people get upset by fur.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's obviously either somebody who's taking a lot of drugs or has mental health issues.
Or should be taking a lot of drugs.
Or should be taking you're either
or
not taking enough or you're taking too much. It's a tough balance.
Where's the flip side? Yeah. Yeah. What a ridiculous story, but yeah, I thought I had to share that.
Yeah,
that people are fucking cretins.
Hang on, I've got a couple of stories here that are definitely people taking too much drugs. Where is it? Okay, I found it. This one comes from ky3.com. I think it's an American news station. This is in Eldon. A gentleman got arrested after breaking into a store. So he's actually thrown himself off a bench and karate kicking the glass to break it. So he's like jumping off, kicking it, because he believed that the mannequins in the window were being sex trafficked. So so he thought he was breaking up a sex trafficking ring and trying to free these women.
Big fan of Daryl Hannah, this one. My god.
They turned out to be mannequins who were wearing quite provocative lingerie at the time, and so he was thinking he was going to be a bit of a superhero.
Oh my god! And did he steal the dolls?
No, he wasn't. He was trying to liberate them.
Yeah, but how do you liberate something that can't walk?
Well, the bar owner next door got involved, and his quotes are very, very small. Like
small-minded.
I was gonna say small town because it's just like he like tackled him to the ground, got his barmaid to phone the police and like tell them like that he's pinned somebody to the ground, but don't worry, it's not a fight. And then he tells
it's not a fight because this guy's a fucking wuss.
Yeah, he's like, I've taken him down, don't worry, it's not a fight. And his quote is like, but there was a little bit of a fight. So the barman just kind of takes care of it, and it just. Yeah, and
And
just kinda loved
and
it.
I really did the dolls get freed?
That was like I think
They
like
weren't liberated.
they were not liberated. They're
Another
still
another
working
cover up by the fucking police.
minimum wage, not getting their rights. It's tough.
I saw a story about a criminal, I suppose you would call him, in Florida. So it was a Florida man story from Fox News, and he was stopped by the police for whatever reason, driving erratically or something. And when they looked in his car, they found drug paraphernalia. They found a crack pipe, and then he had tried to dispose of a baggie as he was driving, as they were trying to pull him over, but he couldn't get rid of it. So I think he just left it in the car. And they obviously pick up the baggie, and then he's like, "Oh, I have no idea how this got here." And they're like, "This is yours. You've clearly got a crack pipe as well." And he's like, "Nah, the wind must have blown it into the car." So he's been arrested on drug paraphernalia, but not on the possession. It's still a charge that's pending.
So that has
because
to
of his, yeah, it has to go to court because of his excuse is like, "Nah, man, the wind blew it into my car." What the actual fuck? Yeah, sure. I do appreciate a good Florida man story.
Yeah, that's quite it just the world is ridiculous that we can't just be like, no, that's clearly nonsense, and us to go through the court. And I wonder how much money
It's going to be spent on that.
On lawyers.
He's got like a
and
dime
juries
bag of
and,
crack
like,
or whatever. He's just like, nope.
blew into
All
the
the
car.
wind.
Yeah, I've got one more drug related story, but this one's actually a little bit depressing.
Pump through it quick, mate.
It's fuck you.
Rip the band-aid off.
This one's from Fox 32 Chicago. I don't know if there's 31 Fox Chicago. This is a story from Massachusetts. It is a sad story. There's a boy who brought a bag of heroin. Well, he didn't know it was heroin. He'd bring it into school and told his teacher when he tasted it, he becomes super. And this was a 5-year-old kid. So it turned out that, well, that obviously led to the arrest of the father.
And the question of where you getting your good boy.
Yeah, well, he had 200 bags of heroin cocaine in
What?
this. And the kid was okay. They took him to the hospital, checked him out. But he'd been like heroin.
Jesus.
Like,
And
what it was.
did he have to go to rehab or like did he have to take him off it?
I did. It didn't say, but no. Well, it did say.
Yeah.
Said it checked him. Okay.
Wow, what a fucked up story, yeah?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, when I was in school, and I was about 6 or 7, someone came into school and they had found condoms that belonged to their parents, and yeah, they started blowing them up like balloons in the play yard, and putting them over their head, and they had found this thing, or had told about it age before the end. I'm sure we would have got up to a lot more trouble, but put it over their head, and then breathe out their nose as hard as they could, make a cone head out of it. Classic.
Right.
Classic.
I feel like it's something I would have tried, but I don't think I've ever done it.
I've never done it. No.
I think I've got I used to get called SpongeBob SquareHead, so I've maybe got like just a little bit too big a head for the condom to get over.
There's a condom that fits everything. Don't you worry about it.
My cousin,
the biggest of heads.
My cousin in high school, I'll give a little shout out to him. He once brought. I think he was in trouble for something. I think he'd gone on a night out, like as you do when you're like 50. And he hadn't had a drink, so people were like. So he went into school, and on his lunch break, took a can of beer out of his packed lunch, and sat and had a beer
You are fucking with me. And then you get like suspended or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Obviously,
God.
but it was like I remember my mom telling me the story, and
Never do
believe
that.
what Paul. Wow, he's like 10 years. So but he was like, "You'll never."
Yeah,
Amazing,
legend.
good work.
I was in science one day, and two of the girls that were across, they were drinking vodka, like before lunchtime. I don't know what possessed the like, but like
Maybe
they
it
were.
was just like part of their science experiment. Like, made it
Anyway,
out of-
but they were like they were drinking vodka out of a water bottle, and yeah, of course, when you're younger, everything hits you a lot quicker. So they were quite tipsy, and we were doing an experiment where we were using a Bunsen burner, and they hadn't been listening to our teacher. So then they were like, "Hey, what are we supposed to do?" And I was like, "I genuinely didn't think that they would do this." And I'll be honest, I didn't think that they would follow my instructions. But anyway, here goes. We had pure alcohol also on the table. And I was like, "Oh, he said you're supposed to pour the alcohol on the flame." And they were like, "All right, cool." And they fucking poured like pure alcohol on the flame. It spread over the desk, and they fucking set the desk on fire. And then he had to come down with a fire blanket to put everything out. And I was like, "Oh god, oh god." I got fucking blamed for it. I got blamed for it. I got sent to the front of the class, and then I was like not allowed to interact with other students. but they were drinking. They were drinking vodka. It's like, what a fucked up world I'm living in.
You were just trying to teach people lessons. Like,
Well, I
it's,
just thought it was funny.
Oh.
I knew that the alcohol would catch light, but I didn't think that they would not also know that. Anyway, maybe it shows that I'm a bad person.
Impressive. Oh well, my New York Times story about alcohol. Like the New York Times, it's not the most exciting headline that we've had, but it's there was a treasure. Anyway, so they found cases of cognac and liquor that were recovered from 1970. So the SS Tyros, found from Russia and sunk by a German submarine, Baltic Sea, has been discovered. They found 50 cases of cognac and 15 cases of other. Brought those up,
And they're still intact?
yeah. Well, they've not drunk any yet. So apparently, there's a huge process they have to go through to make sure the salt water. As
Okay.
soon as salt water gets in,
It's spoiled.
it's
yeah.
spoiled. But so they're looking at that, because there was a story a few years ago that found Ernest Shackleton whiskey in Antarctica.
Oh,
because
yeah,
it
yeah.
had been frozen. They were I don't think they white and Mackay reproduce flavor.
Oh, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's not a phenomenally funny story. It's just I wanted to bring the New York Times just to bring up the
Yeah.
quality of our
Then your Fox 32
reporting.
stories.
Yeah.
I also do crosswords from the New York Times.
You know,
I
I just fill in rude words, but close enough.
never complete. Yeah, I suppose it was a segue for the last comment, but did you see the realistic frog replica cadavers that they've introduced some schools in the US?
No, so is this rather than using real ones?
Rather than using real frogs, they would use like replica cadavers that had the organs and everything in the perfect places, looked the exact same, so on.
Are they owned, or are they made
No,
out of like
they're made out of
synthetic materials?
silicone and synthetic materials. It says that there's like 3 million. This must be in the US, but 3 million annually that are killed for scientific experiments. So they're trying to cut down the amount of frogs just being unnecessarily killed. And
Is that something you ever did? Did you ever
I
have
never
to dissect?
no, I didn't. Like,
No.
I mean, after being sent to the front of the class for that experiment, I said, you know what? fuck you, science.
I'm out.
I'm out. No.
Yeah.
I never done it. I was never scientifically.
I never had to cut
inclined.
up anything live in my science class, and I think I still know about everything I need to know about the size of the frog, which is very little.
Yeah, they're squishy.
Yeah, they're squishy. That's all it is.
But they're $150 a piece, but they're reusable.
Oh, okay.
So they're reusable. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know what teacher's gonna like put the stomach back together, but yeah.
But if you're gonna go, I mean, it's gonna be more expensive. But if you're gonna go to if you're gonna like recreate something, why not use a human? And then surely that would be much more interesting and actually like relevant than what's inside a frog.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna
Honestly,
use that for?
I don't know. Maybe
Even vets aren't going to use that. It's
Well-
like, oh,
well,
my
actually-
frog's sick. Well, fuck, step.
the same
buy
company
another
also produces human replica cadaver. So like that must
For
be
the scientific community.
yeah, or for the necrophiliac among us.
Like, what
But-
else can we expand
No, but
into?
I
Well,
really
frogs,
don't
obviously.
know like how many 13-year-olds should be cutting up like replica bodies like for like it's young
Why-
people in
yeah,
high
but
school
why are you
doing
cutting
this.
up live frogs? Like, I guess
Or
you're
dead frog.
Well, okay, but I was it Breakfast Club or something? I saw they have to like
Kill them
kill them
first.
first, or is it E.T.? No, it's E.T. I'm pretty sure it's E.T. and you have to kill him first. Put a little bit of cotton bud with morphine on it. I'm not sure how up to date this is, or how
Listen, the fact that okay, yeah.
he gets really upset, and aliens nearly take over the world. Haven't we learned from that? That was like in the 80s.
Do you know, I have not learned from it. I'm also learning that our news sources are blockbuster movies.
Yep.
So
Well, if Elliot is listening right now, he is going to be happy as a pig in shit, or happy as a cow wearing VR.
you know it. So much milk.
Have I got any animal related stuff? I do have another drug related one. I thought I was through my drug.
You're
But-
never through. You're gonna always follow the steps, buddy.
We've got a link and we've got a link of Hollywood as well. I've got two lads have obviously been watching Breaking Bad. I say lads, it's two Arkansas chemistry professors. They have been arrested for allegedly making meth. So I think it's one of those other ones. It's like, oh, we accidentally created this after hours in our laboratory. They must have blown in through the window. But,
Where did
yeah.
this pipette come from?
So,
That,
is there any other information you would like on that? Because I didn't.
I would
I
love
don't
more information on that. Where they're
You son of a
distributing or no, I've got. My wife brought it up the other day. She sent me one with like collective nouns, and I thought it was really fun. But the collective nouns thing that she had sent also was really politically skewed from the New Yorker, which I do love the New Yorker, but it was also like a group of geese is called such and such. A group of white males is called such and such, you know. And then I was like, this is fun a little bit, but I'm sure it could be better. So I wanted to know how good your collective noun knowledge is.
Fucking amazing.
Well,
Like I would say well above average.
I've gone through a few of these, and they are quite shit in terms of the lists. They give you 10, and
All right,
some
I'm
of them
ready.
are
You've got
unbelievable.
10. I'm gonna get.
No, there's.
I'm aiming for
Oh, how did I do
70%.
that? Okay. I'll do some of the ones that are known first, just to see if you get that. So
A gaggle.
geese.
A gaggle.
You do gaggle, yeah, a lot.
I hadn't even read your thing. I just.
Okay, so a collective amount of crows is called what?
Oh shit! I do know this one, and when you say it, I'll be like, "Yeah, you're correct."
Holy shit.
It's not a flock. It's quite terrifying.
It's a murder of crows.
Yes, a murder. Yes, I told you it was terrifying.
A murder of crows. What about fish?
well, you've got schools or shoal.
Yeah, exactly.
School is when they're all following each other. Shoal is where it's more of a large collection, but work.
Okay. So they're freelancing. They're like, yeah, okay. More of a shared office space. What about gorillas?
I missed gorillas.
Yeah, fuck off. A band of gorillas. Hyenas?
If I'd had one less bottle of wine, I'd be like, smashing these.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you'd be fucking knocking it out of the park. What about hyenas?
A laughter of hyenas.
You're actually not far off. It's a cackle. We have owls. This one is some of these. So this comes from yourdictionary.com. It's like a grammar site, but I don't know how true it is. But some of them are so ridiculous that yeah, you disbelieve it.
A roost owl.
A parliament.
I know I have heard of that one.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a baby owl?
No. Owlet?
No, well maybe. But
Owlet, yeah.
What I plug my
No, that's an outlet.
They're terrifying. Baby owls are terrifying.
Why?
They look like little scary aliens. Hang on, I'm gonna while you read out your next.
What about wolves?
Pack.
Very good. Turtles?
A
bale or a nest.
I don't think I knew that one.
Yeah,
okay,
I never
are
heard
you ready?
before.
Look at these little fuckers.
Fuck off. That is totally area 51 shit. No, that doesn't look cool.
Storm Area 51 and get yourself go.
Got a couple more. Monkeys.
Oh, I want to say pack. That's family. Like it's something to do with like a family or a.
There's two for this one. So yeah, the family one. It's not a family, so it can be a troop or a barrel of monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah. An otter.
At my 70%. I don't think I'm even going to get an F- at this rate.
Nope.
I think it's really cute. I remember hearing the collective sound for a group of otters and being like, "Oh, first terrorist of otters."
It's close. It's a family.
Oh, damn it!
And the last one, there's a tongue here, but my favorite is the jaguars.
Oh, if it's your favorite, it's probably going to be a
Ominous.
potato of jaguars.
Fuck you. It's a shadow of jaguars.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, it is. I like. Yeah, I thought that was good because yeah, like quiz trivia. We're just.
How did I do? I think I got.
I think you done really good.
Close to 100.
I think it was almost.
I got the
100.
first in 100. I got the
You got one out of about.
100.
That's not bad odds,
I feel like an Australian paraglider.
right?
Yes.
Good segue, dickhead.
So there's an Australian paraglider. The thing that actually amazed me from this story, he'd been paragliding for over 2 hours. I thought you just jumped off and it was like fun. Anyway, so this is IFL Science. I fucking love science. Not sure what is science, but do you want to watch the video together and then we can do a live commentary? Here we go. I'll get rid of this annoying ad. This is what happens.
Is
to
the penis
paragliding.
enlarger?
So he's already been paragliding for 2 hours. He's coming into land. He's had an amazing day, seeing the beauty of the outback. There's his shadow coming in, and perfect landing. Wait, what's coming? What the fuck's that?
Fuck off! No way! Oh my god!
Out of nowhere comes a massive, like, 1.5 2 meter male kangaroo, runs up and punches him in the face.
He's like, "This is my landing strip, motherfucker." That is crazy. How has that got anything to do with science?
I don't know. Maybe there's some stat here. It does tell you about
It does
reaches
have-
as tall as
So essentially, what you're saying
2
is it
meters.
does have words underneath it.
It has words. They can reach up to 90 kilograms, which is 200 pounds. Though an attack might seem funny at first, it can quickly turn.
Okay.
So we apologize to IFL Science for making light of this.
Oh, come on. It's a hilarious video. Just out of nowhere, a kangaroo comes up and punches you. Jeez.
Oh, that. Okay, I didn't know this. There's over double the amount of humans, double the amount of kangaroos than humans in Australia. There's 50 million across.
Wow.
That is a lot of kangaroos.
Yeah. And still they have not managed to commercialize kangaroo boxing. I do not know.
The band together, make money.
No, I'm pretty sure they're not called a band of kangaroos.
What is it?
I don't know. Maybe I'll find it.
Well, I've still got quite a few to get through.
Kangaroos, a troop or a mob?
A mob of kangaroos.
A mob of kangaroos. There you go.
Right. Let's smash out a couple. I've got an 82-year-old powerlifting grandma. She's been on ESPN. Somebody tried to mug her, like rob her in her house. 82 years old. We should have. Sorry. Her name was Willie Murphy. So shout out to Willie as our badass woman of the week.
Big Willie M.
It sounds like this was in Rochester, New York. So she smashed a table over his head, and
Fuck off.
and then used the metal leg of the table to just like knock him unconscious.
Sounds like a WWF match.
Yeah, cracking. Good for
Yeah,
her.
cracking.
Good for her. Smash done.
Jesus.
Next, yoga balls. They're on the way out.
Oh my God. Oh,
I know, terrible news. This
terrible
is meant to be feel good news of the week.
and what a
so-
depressing story.
I know, I'm sorry. But you've not heard what they're being replaced with yet. So I'm going to turn this ship around. And
Squares.
Make this dinosaurs.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Inflatable dinosaurs or something?
They don't look inflatable. I've got a little photo for you here if you're interested, which I'm sure you are.
You know what? I'm always interested.
Here we go. Look at these. Obviously, this looks like it's probably in China or Japan, I'm guessing. But where you get people sitting at their office chairs for the ergonomic.
Ergonomics?
They're on their yoga balls. These are being switched out by really kind of uncomfortable looking dinosaurs. Like they kind of look like I'm a bit up on my. I'm as good as my
up on your hind legs with your little T-Rex hands in the air.
They're clearly diplodocus. They're not anything like.
No, I was saying that you were on your T-Rex. Doesn't matter.
But they're out of 4 people. They're using them in 3 different ways. Somebody's got the head back. Somebody's cuddling the head, and somebody's gone with the classic side.
I
side
do
sit
think the
on
cuddle
the
head
dinosaur.
one is the most comfortable looking
It
one.
does, but it looks dangerously close to the keyboard.
I would drill
I
a
think-
hole in his head and put like maybe a drink bottle underneath it with a straw. That while I was working, I drank out of the dinosaur's head.
Perfect. Where you can have your cognac. 97.
Oh, your science class vodka. I was thinking more along the lines of just like a normal drink, but yeah.
Yeah. I've also got.
You do have so much stuff today. Jesus Christ.
Did you hear about the dot flight China York saved Mel Johnson?
I didn't.
Which is, it's a good story in itself. But the way he did it. So this gentleman, his bladder, which I think we've all experienced.
On a
Been
flight.
to-
Long haul
on a
flight.
flight,
Yeah.
or maybe a Foo Fighters concert or a festival when
This is
the
very true.
cues are
This is
there.
very true.
I got a rupture. So this doctor saved this gentleman's life by sucking urine from his bladder for 37.
Fuck off.
This,
How did he do that?
Well, I don't know if he brought his own straw or.
First question. Was the straw plastic?
Yeah, he's like, "What are you doing to the
What are you
planet?"
doing? Don't give this man a straw.
To me, he looks classic. So he's in a little bit of trouble. This isn't a great photo. I zoomed it up.
Do you
for
know
later on.
the photo is fine?
Here we go.
Oh, fuck off!
He's got a little wine bottle. Oh, now that I think about it, it's probably going into the wine bottle. It's probably not.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, you mean like it's like ciphering gas?
one for you, one for me, one for you, one.
Did
So
you
I
have
got-
asparagus?
So he's holding a little cup of what I assume is whatever he's sucking out of
Piss.
this man's bladder.
Oh, fuck me.
How much this gentleman drank? Got 37 minutes.
Jesus Christ! So
The rest is just ads. This is from the Sun. So
you know
a
it's
U- a
reputable.
UK,
Yeah. Oh shit, guys! Those
I
guys.
saw the Eye, which the newspaper is quite reputable. Just got bought by that. That's good.
Did you see Conor McGregor's back in the ring?
January 2020,
Yeah.
fighting a guy.
Donald
Run.
Donald Cerrone Cowboy or Donald Cowboy Cerrone?
Yes, the cow.
Are you excited to watch it, or you think it's going to be a stepping stone?
For sure. I think it's
Yeah.
they've given him a confidence, not confidence, but I don't like. Surely he's got to like himself. Like,
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
Without,
He's been a bit of a legend within it, like Cerrone, but he's supposedly not like title contender material at this point. So.
And the Notorious has lost a bit of its notoriety.
But do you think that he should be given? This is two people talking about UFC who pretty much maybe watch headlines, but do you think?
I watched
Just-
5 seconds.
but
I've got 5 seconds to spare, and I think that's my.
but as far as morals go, like, do you think it's okay for him to now get a title fight after a fight that people are already saying that this is a step?
This is a title?
No. So as a stepping stone with Donald Cerrone, do you think it's okay that he then could have a title fight with like Jorge Masvidal? You know, like he's just then got into the ring after, a year and a half or whatever it has been that he's been out, and then boom, he gets to fight for the title again. While all these other boys are like fighting a lot, and
it might be a controversial opinion, but I see MMA as a little bit like WWE, that it's all about personalities, and it's all about how much money you're gonna make in the box office. So whether he's actually whether worth it or not, but he's got the leg, and he's fun to watch. People listen to him, and he's a colossal pain in the ass, and it's like the Game of Thrones. People like to have enemies. You either love them or hate them, and that's what gets people to tune in. Like, I want to see this guy getting punched in the face, or I want to see this guy win. So for that, it's all about it's all about the money, and and about what. And for sure, I couldn't name 3 other enemies. I know Colin, and I knew him before the big blow, he's a marketing juggernaut. He knows how to do it, and then, so I think he's good value for money.
Yeah, but you know Colin McGregor so well that his name is Connor.
Fuck him.
That was like that night where I was like, I'm a lifelong Celtic fan, and you're like, how did they do today? And I'm like, no idea. No idea. The other one I was gonna say is, I don't know if it needs to be on air, but are you interested in watching the Anthony Joshua fight?
That's a rematch against
Andy Ruiz Jr.
I didn't watch the first one.
I didn't watch the first one, but I do like Anthony Joshua a lot.
Yeah, and it was meant to be one of the biggest upsets of modern boxing. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's one of those things I wouldn't go out of my way to pay for a pay-per-view, but if it's on, like, we can go for a beer and watch it.
There we go. Cool. Let's do it.
On. And afterwards, sun our butt.
Yes. Okay, deal.
done. We're at 1 hour, so we got just a couple
Close
of
it off. Yeah,
close it
like sunned butthole. We've got to close this shit off.
Okay. We've got a dump run.
What's a dump? Yeah, go for it.
It's just a gentleman, using the word quite loosely, has been tormenting Toronto. He's called the Smiling Serial Shitter. So he's been throwing buckets. Yeah, and not even like gentlemen. He's been runny bum.
Oh, that's not gentlemanly like.
No, so he's been running around Toronto throwing diarrhea. I tried to write diarrhea. It's a very difficult. Much like Kaylee done.
When it runs down your leg like a softball leg.
Yeah. When you're climbing up and down your
diarrhea. Mum wasn't in. Diarrhea. Yeah, listen, we could go on for ages.
Ever. And we will. So here's another one. Alright, guys. I think this... we didn't even get around to the Elon Musk Cybertruck. So,
let's do it. Fuck it. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. Elon Musk is a new Cybertruck. So they revealed that. It looks like something out of Star Wars. Like that bulky...
it looks like the DeLorean with a hatchback DeLorean with... Or DeLorean was hatchback, but like with an elongated area that you can put your...
Yep. Or when I was in home ec,
in there.
not home ec, but techie class, in the 90s, I didn't know how to use CAD, so just like design a car, pretty fucking fine, a couple of wheels on it. Lego's already released a version of it, with one Lego block with
fuck off.
Well, 4.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. But he managed to get well, the big story was the fact that it was like that they took a metal ball, threw it at the window, and it's going to be like bulletproof.
I didn't get from the stories that I was reading, they all said stainless steel windows. What the fuck does that mean? Because stainless steel is not... they did say stainless steel windows. I'm like, what does that mean? It does
sound like a little bit of...
Yeah.
I don't know. But he did release the fact that the windows broke is took a sledgehammer to it first.
Yeah.
And that, like...
weakened it.
And went...
Bullshit.
Either way, because there's also a lot of speculation, just a market. Like, because everybody loves a good failure. So you go, these are indestructible. You throw a ball at it, boom, suddenly viral everywhere, which did work because it was everywhere.
And he still had like a pre-order of 200,000 vehicles after like a day.
200,000 orders. Boom. So good on you, Elon.
Marketing genius.
Yeah. And on that, we shall see you in 2 weeks' time. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if there's any stories you want to talk about, catch us up on Facebook. You can find us. Well, you're already find us on YouTube, Spotify.
Tell your friends. Oh, go suck a dick. Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Have an amazing week, and and happy St. Andrew's Day. I think I'll have to double check.
Yeah, afterwards. Good night, everyone.
Night, guys. Cheers.